Republican Representative Trent Franks went on Fox News to discuss ISIS, and he said multiple things that are 100% incorrect and embarrassingly off base. He's going to prove here, without even realizing it, that he's exposing his ignorance on issues that are above his head.
And the great danger we have, more than anything else related to border security in Arizona, is the nexus to national security. Some of us have talked about that a long time, but people don't realize that there are really only two components to any national security threat. That's intent and capacity. And this president has ignored the intent of enemies like ISIS to exploit a porous border. And if they ever gain the capacity to hurt us, I just have to say to you, with Iran on the cusp of potentially gaining a nuclear weapons capability, we could see a situation where terrorists could gain access to nuclear weapons, and the shadow of nuclear terrorism could fall across this world. And if that happens, this president will be remembered in history as the one who stood by with a golf club in his hand and let it happen.
Iran getting a nuke? Okay, every single IAEA report that comes out, the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is responsible for overseeing all these different things and specifically looking into whether or not Iran is complying with the recent nuclear deal that we signed with them, every single report, including the most recent one, says they have complied 100%. 100%. And the leader of Iran, Hassan Rouhani, who's a moderate who was recently elected, has said repeatedly, we don't even want a nuke, because then we think the U.S. will use that as a reason to attack us, an excuse to attack us, and we don't want that to happen, so we're done. We don't even want one. Okay, we're done with this. So there's no evidence. I mean, the UN is screaming at you, they don't have a nuke, they're not even trying to get a nuke, but this guy's like, they basically have a nuke. And the most embarrassing point of all, I mean, the Iran point itself was mind-numbingly stupid, but he says, well, we should worry about ISIS getting into the country and getting a nuke from Iran. So ISIS will get a nuke from Iran, they'll come in through Mexico, and then, you know, we have a nuclear explosion in the U.S. Really scary situation. Do you not know the difference between Sunnis and Shiites? No, he doesn't. I'm convinced. There's no way he knows the difference between Sunnis and Shiites. Why do I say that? Because Iran is Shiite. The Shiites despise ISIS because ISIS are Sunni jihadists, okay? Al-Qaeda and ISIS, they are fighting. They're fighting right now Hezbollah, which is the Lebanese and Iranian Shiite political party. Iran, the government of Iran, they're Shiite. I mean, they are mortal enemies, Iran and ISIS. But this jackass, because he thinks all Muslims are the same, he thinks, well, ISIS is going to get a nuclear weapon from Iran, and then ISIS is going to bring that weapon here and explode it. So they're going to get a nuclear weapon from their mortal enemy who they're currently fighting in Syria, because Hezbollah is fighting al-Nusra, the official al-Qaeda affiliate in Syria. Okay, I'm going to put this as simple as possible for Trent Franks and for people to understand. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You have no clue about foreign policy. You know nothing. You are embarrassingly ignorant on these really, really interesting and deep issues that you should know about because you're a politician and you affect the law. But they don't, because they're not smart, they don't read, they don't follow this shit. They're too busy sucking off their donors to give a fuck about what's actually happening in the Middle East. And again, the idea that you're that ignorant where you think Iran and ISIS are allies, you should step down based on that alone.